It's the 23rd of July as we leave Loch Spelve. We really enjoyed the mussels here, but when we went for a walk on land, we didn't enjoy the midges. Our first experience, so we've not done too badly. We had hoped to see puffins on Lunga, but we've since discovered there are 2 islands called Lunga, and we're not at the right one. But nevertheless, we enjoy the solitude of the anchorage and even catch a fish or 2 for dinner. As we lifted the anchor the next morning, we spotted lots of dolphins across the bay, and it wasn't long before they came closer to have a look at us and swim at the bow of the boat. When they'd finished playing, they left us and went back to join the rest of the pod, which was the biggest dolphin pod we'd ever seen. As we continued out of the bay, so did the long procession of dolphins, moving on to their next destination. I've zoomed in the video and hope you can also see them better. We enjoyed so much watching them play. It was as if they were showing off to us, their audience, which was very amusing. The Isle of Colonsay was our next stop, where there were visitor mooring buoys available, but we decided to anchor a little closer to shore. We were hoping to explore both islands of Colonsay and Oronsay over the next few days. And there's nothing like feeling watched as you go for a walk. In the morning we were pleased it was another dry day, and we set off on the long walk about an hour and a half from the anchorage to Oronsay. There is a tidal strait called the Strand between the islands, and we needed to get the tide right, so we had enough time to visit Oronsay and the Priory and get back to Colonsay before the tide came up. Oronsay Priory was founded by the Augustinians in the early 14th century. There are many grave slabs in the prior's house, and these include some remarkable tombs and effigies, most dating from 1500 to 1560, and two superb effigies of MacDuffie chiefs. Our timing was good and we made it back across the Strand in plenty of time. From Oronsay we headed across to the Sound of Isla. The tide here is very strong, so we had to get it right and make sure it was with us, not against us. Unfortunately for Simon, because of the tide, there was no stopping at any of the whisky distilleries along the way. But that was okay because there was one at our next stop on Jura. There were lots of visitor mooring buoys in Craighouse Bay, so no need to worry here about not having enough space for us. The weather was very changeable, but we still got out to explore the bay around us. But covered in cloud, the Paps of Jura would have to wait for another time. And so would the whisky tasting, as despite it being the weekend, unluckily for Simon, Jura Whisky Distillery was closed. From Jura we headed across to the island of Gigha and anchored in a bay on the east side of the island. It was a very low tide, so we needed to pull the dinghy up. Hopefully we'll be back in time to walk around the beach to get back to it. The wind wasn't in the right direction to stay at the northern anchorages, so we walked to see the twin beaches instead. It was on the beach here we found midges just for the second time, so the picnic was short and sweet and we carried on with our walk. The walk had taken a bit longer than planned, and unsurprisingly the tide had come up. Even putting my boots on was no use as the water was too deep, so we did a bit of rock traversing to get back to the dinghy. The next morning we moved the short distance to Ardminish Bay to explore more of the island on foot. We found another fantastic walk, this time to the highest point on Gigha that had stunning panoramic views. Jura and Gigha can both be seen from here on a clear day like today. And of course, well-deserved cake at the end of the walk. Our next stop is Gigha. Maybe here Simon will finally get his whiskey tasting. But more about that next time.